Here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you. Half of all retirees in America have less than $145,000 saved for retirement. That's 4 times less than what experts say you actually need. According to research from Clever Real Estate in 2024, the average retiree has about $269,000 in savings, still less than half the recommended $572,000. And it gets worse. 2 out of 3 Americans now believe the country is facing a retirement crisis. This isn't just a feeling. It's backed by hard data from the National Institute on Retirement Security's 2024 research. People are scared. They don't know how much money they'll need. They don't know if they'll outlive their savings. And most have no idea how to even calculate what their retirement income should be. But here's the good news. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to calculate your retirement income, step by step. No confusing math, no Wall Street talk, just simple methods that actually work. I'm going to show you the same rules that financial experts use, but explained so simply that anyone can understand. And stay with me, because later in this video, I'm going to show you a magic number that can tell you instantly if you're on track for retirement. Plus, a withdrawal rule that could mean the difference between running out of money and having enough for life. Let's get into it! Let me ask you something. Do you know how much money you'll need every month when you stop working? Most people don't. A 2024 study from BlackRock found that 2/3 of participants say it's hard to know how their savings will become monthly income. 2 out of 3 people. That's a huge problem. And here's why this is so scary. When you're working, money comes in like clockwork. Every 2 weeks, boom, paycheck. But in retirement, you have to create that paycheck yourself. You have to turn a pile of savings into income that lasts 20, 30, maybe even 40 years. I understand why this feels overwhelming. According to the Prudential 2024 survey, 55-year-olds have a median retirement savings of less than $50,000. That's supposed to last for decades, and 2/3 of them fear they will outlive their money. That fear is real. But fear doesn't help. Knowledge helps. So let's fix this. I'm going to break down retirement income calculation into 7 clear steps. Each step builds on the last. By the end, you'll have a complete picture of your retirement income. Sound good? Let's go! Step 1 is figuring out your replacement ratio. This is fancy talk for a simple question. How much of your current income do you need in retirement? Not all of it, but how much? Financial planners have long used 70% to 80% as a good estimate according to research from JP Morgan Asset Management. Think about it this way. Right now, you spend money on things you won't spend on in retirement. You won't be putting money into your 401k anymore. You won't be paying for that daily train ticket to work. You won't be buying suits and work clothes. Those costs disappear. But wait, Fidelity's research shows something interesting. The amount you need varies by income level. If you make $50,000, you might need 80% of your income. But if you make $200,000, you might only need 60%. Why? Because higher earners save more and spend less of their total income. So here's your first calculation. Take your current yearly income, multiply it by 0.75. That's your starting target. We'll adjust this later, but for now, write down that number. If you make $60,000 a year, your target is $45,000. If you make $100,000, your target is $75,000. Simple, right? Let me go deeper on this replacement ratio. Research from the Social Security Administration shows that 4 out of 5 financial planners accept a replacement rate between 70% and 89%. The middle point? About 75%. That's your magic number for most people. Now here's where it gets interesting. Morningstar researcher David Blanchett found that couples might need anywhere from 54% to 87% of their income. Why such a big range? Because everyone's different. Some people have their house paid off. Some still have a mortgage. Some want to travel the world. Some want to stay home and garden. Here's a quick way to adjust your number. Do you plan to have a simple, quiet retirement? Use 70%. Do you want to keep living exactly like you do now? Use 80%. Do you want more adventures and travel? Use 90%. Write your number down. And don't worry if 70% sounds like a lot. Coming up, I'll show you exactly where this money comes from. Spoiler alert, you don't have to save all of it yourself. Social Security, pensions, and smart withdrawals all play a part. Keep watching. Step 2 is understanding Social Security. This is huge. For many Americans, Social Security is the biggest piece of their retirement income pie. The average retired worker receives about $2,005 per month, according to the Social Security Administration as of 2025. That's over $24,000 a year. Here's what you need to know. Social Security was designed to replace about 40% of your pre-retirement income for average earners, according to Kiplinger's analysis. So if you need 75% of your income in retirement, Social Security could cover half of that. The other half comes from your savings. But here's the trick. When you start taking Social Security matters a lot. Take it at 62, you get a reduced benefit. Take it at 70, you get more. By waiting until age 70, your benefit grows by 8% each year past your full retirement age. That's a guaranteed return you can't get anywhere else. Here's what to do. Go to ssa.gov right now. Create an account. Look at your estimated benefit. Write down 3 numbers. What you'd get at 62, at 67, and at 70. This is critical information for the next step. Let me share something that could mean thousands of extra dollars. The difference between claiming at 62 versus 70 is huge. In 2026, the maximum benefit at 62 is $2,364 less than at 70, according to Bankrate. That's nearly $30,000 a year difference at the maximum level. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I want my money now. The Transamerica Center found that 58% of retirees actually retired sooner than they planned. Health problems happen. Jobs get cut. Life happens. So you might not have a choice about when you claim. Here's the thing. Claiming early isn't wrong. It's just a trade-off. Claiming at 62 means smaller checks for more years. Claiming at 70 means bigger checks for fewer years. You have to decide what works for your life. But if you can wait, if you have other savings to live on, waiting is almost always better. About 87% of people aged 65 and over receive Social Security benefits, according to SSA data. This is money you've earned. Make sure you maximize it. All right, let's calculate your Social Security piece. Pull up that estimate I told you to get. Now, if you're planning to retire at 67, use that full retirement age number. Multiply it by 12 to get your yearly Social Security income. Let's say your estimate shows $1,800 a month at age 67. That's $21,600 per year. If your target income is $45,000 per year, Social Security covers $21,600. You need $23,400 from other sources. See how this works? Now here's something important. For very low earners, Social Security replaces about 80% of their prior income, while for the highest earners, it's only 28%, according to the Social Security Administration. So if you make more money, you'll need more from your savings. Write down your Social Security estimate. This is piece number 1 of your retirement income. Now let's figure out the rest. Keep watching, because the next piece is where most people make big mistakes. Step 3 is calculating your savings target, and here's where we use that magic number I promised. According to Fidelity's research, you should aim to save 10 times your salary by age 67. 10 times! That's the gold standard. Let me make this real. If you earn $50,000 a year, your target is $500,000. If you earn $80,000, your target is $800,000. If you earn $100,000, your target is $1 million. These are big numbers, but don't panic yet. Here's the beautiful part. Fidelity's research shows that if you save 15% of your income starting at age 25, you can reach this goal. That includes any employer match. 15%. That's the magic saving rate. And Fidelity gives you milestones along the way. Aim for 1 times your salary by 30, 3 times by 40, 6 times by 50, and 8 times by 60. These checkpoints help you track your progress. You don't have to guess anymore. But wait, 10 times your salary might be too much for some people, or not enough for others. Let me explain. If you plan to retire early, at 65, you might need 12 times your salary. If you can work until 70, you might only need 8 times. Think about your plans. Do you want to downsize and live simply? Maybe 8 times is enough. Do you want to travel and have adventures? Maybe 12 times is better. Do you have a pension? You might need less from savings. A Vanguard study found that high earners in the top 5% spend less than 50% of their income in retirement. If you're a big saver now, you might not need to replace as much income later. Makes sense, right? Here's what to do. Take your current salary. Multiply by 10 for a starting target. Then adjust up if you want to retire early or spend more. Adjust down if you'll work longer or spend less. Write this number down. This is your savings target. Now let's get real about where you stand. Take your savings target, subtract what you currently have saved. That's your gap. If your target is $600,000 and you have $200,000, your gap is $400,000. If that gap looks scary, breathe. Research shows that 50% of retirees have less than $145,000 saved. You're not alone if you're behind. The important thing is knowing where you are so you can fix it. Here's the good news. Time and compound growth are powerful. Fidelity's analysis shows that money invested for 30 years can grow dramatically through compound returns. Even small contributions today become big money later. And later in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how much you need to save each month to close that gap. Plus, I'll share a withdrawal strategy that can make your money last 30 years or more. Stick with me. Step 4 is maybe the most important calculation in retirement. It's called the withdrawal rate, and there's a famous rule you need to know. In 1994, researcher Bill Bengen developed the 4% rule, the idea that you can withdraw 4% of your savings each year without running out of money. Here's how it works. Take your total retirement savings. Take out 4% the first year, then increase that amount for inflation each year. According to Bengen's research, this approach would last through any 30-year period in history. Let me show you with real numbers. If you have $1 million saved, you withdraw $40,000 the first year. If inflation is 2%, you take $40,800 the next year, according to Charles Schwab's explanation of the rule. Simple, right? But here's the exciting update. Bengen himself recently revised his research. He now says 4.7% might be safe for many retirees. That means more money in your pocket. Let's put this rule to work for you. Take your savings target from earlier. Multiply by 0.04. That's your yearly withdrawal. A $500,000 nest egg gives you $20,000 a year. A $750,000 nest egg gives you $30,000. $1 million gives you $40,000. Now add your Social Security. Remember, Social Security replaces about 40% of income for average earners. If Social Security gives you $24,000 and your withdrawals give you $30,000, you have $54,000 in retirement income. Is that enough for your target? If it's not enough, you have options. Save more, work longer, spend less, or use a higher withdrawal rate. Some research suggests you can safely take 4.7% if you have the right portfolio mix. But be careful. Recent studies from Western Carolina University suggest that market conditions today differ from the 1980s. The 4% rule may not work in all situations. Flexibility is key.
The 4% rule is a great starting point, but it's not perfect. Morningstar's 2024 research concluded that a more realistic safe withdrawal rate might be 3.7% in today's market environment. That's a bit more conservative. But here's the flip side. Bengen's new research with 7 asset classes suggests you might safely take 4.7% under the worst historical scenarios. For a 50-year retirement, it's closer to 4.2%. So there's a range. What does this mean for you? The key is understanding that your situation will change over time. Flexibility helps increase withdrawal rates while maintaining success, according to RBC research. My suggestion? Start with 4%. Be ready to adjust. Take less in bad years, take more in good years. This dynamic approach can actually let you spend more over your lifetime. Here's a shortcut that makes everything easier. It's called the 25x rule. If you use a 4% withdrawal rate, you need 25 times your annual spending saved. Why? Because 1 divided by 0.04 equals 25. Let's say you need $40,000 a year from savings after Social Security. Multiply by 25. You need $1 million. If you need $30,000 a year from savings, you need $750,000. Simple math. This aligns with the Trinity study from the 1990s, which tested how different withdrawal rates performed over rolling 30-year periods. The researchers found that 4% with a diversified portfolio survived most historical periods. So here's your formula. Take your target income, subtract Social Security, subtract any pension. What's left? Multiply by 25. That's your savings goal. Write it down. Step 5 is adding up any pension income. Now, pensions are rare these days. Only about 7% of older Americans receive income from all three traditional sources: Social Security, pension, and personal savings. But if you have one, it's gold. A pension is guaranteed money for life. No worrying about markets, no worrying about running out. If your company promised you $1,500 a month for life, that's $18,000 a year of guaranteed income. Here's how to add it to your plan. Take your pension amount, add it to your Social Security. That's your guaranteed income floor. If Social Security is $24,000 and pension is $18,000, you have $42,000 guaranteed. The rest comes from savings. If you don't have a pension, don't worry. Later, I'll show you how to create your own pension using something called an annuity. Keep watching. Let's talk about other income sources. According to the Transamerica Center, 54% of workers plan to work at least part-time in retirement. Working even a few hours can make a huge difference. Let's say you work part-time earning $15,000 a year. That's $15,000 less you need from savings, which means you need $375,000 less in your nest egg using the 25x rule. Other income sources to consider: rental property income, royalties, dividend income, business income. About 34% of retirees prefer working part-time as a way to generate needed income, according to Goldman Sachs research. Make a list of all your potential income sources: Social Security, pension, part-time work, investments, rental income. Add them all up. This gives you the full picture of your retirement income. Step 6 is creating your monthly retirement budget. This is where we get specific. Research from EBRI in 2024 found that approximately half of retirees spend less than $2,000 per month. But your number could be very different. Here are the big categories to plan for: housing, rent or mortgage, taxes, insurance, repairs; healthcare, insurance premiums, medications, doctor visits; food, groceries, and dining out; transportation, car payment, gas, insurance; utilities, entertainment. Retirees reported housing as their largest expense and food as second largest. Here's something people miss. The average 65-year-old needs $172,500 in after-tax savings just for healthcare and retirement, according to Fidelity's 2025 estimate. That's a huge number. Sit down this week. Write out every monthly expense you expect. Be honest. Add 10% for surprises. That's your monthly retirement budget. Now multiply by 12 for your yearly need. Let's talk more about healthcare. This is the expense that surprises most retirees. 54% of retirees were surprised by how much it costs to retire, according to the 2024 Clever survey. Healthcare is a big reason why. Before age 65, you'll need your own health insurance. That could be $500 to $1,500 a month or more.
After 65, you get Medicare, but Medicare isn't free. You still pay premiums, deductibles, and copays. Here's a smart move. If your employer offers a health savings account, use it. The money grows tax-free and can be used for medical expenses in retirement. It's like a secret retirement account for healthcare. Add healthcare to your budget. Budget $500 to $700 a month for each person after age 65. More if you have health conditions. This is not optional. Healthcare costs are real and they're big. Here's something that can destroy your retirement plan if you ignore it. Inflation. The 30-year average inflation rate is about 2.63%, according to retirement planning research. That means prices double about every 27 years. Think about it. If you need $50,000 a year now, in 20 years you might need $80,000 to buy the same things. Your retirement could be 30 years long. Prices will go up. The good news? Social Security has COLA, cost of living adjustments. Benefits increase based on inflation, like the 2.5% increase in 2025. So your Social Security keeps up, mostly. But your savings need to grow too. This is why you can't just put retirement money under your mattress. It needs to be invested to beat inflation. Keep this in mind. Here's something surprising about retirement spending. It doesn't stay the same. Researchers found a pattern called the spending smile. You spend more early in retirement, less in the middle, then more again at the end for healthcare. Schwab's research suggests that spending actually decreases in retirement for many people. When you're 65, you might travel a lot. At 75, you slow down. At 85, healthcare costs go up. What does this mean for you? Morningstar suggests you could safely spend more in early retirement if you're willing to spend less later. It's all about flexibility. Plan for this reality. Maybe budget more for fun money in your 60s and 70s, more for healthcare in your 80s. Life isn't a straight line. Your spending shouldn't be either. Step 7 brings it all together. Let's calculate your total retirement income. Here's the formula. Take your guaranteed income first. Add Social Security, maybe $24,000 a year. Add pension if you have one, maybe $12,000 a year. Add any other guaranteed income. Write down this total. Now, add your savings income. Take your nest egg target. Multiply by 4% or 0.04. If you have $600,000, that's $24,000 a year. Add this to your guaranteed income. Finally, add any other income. Part-time work? Maybe $10,000 a year. Rental income? Maybe $6,000 a year. Now add everything together. That's your total retirement income. Does it match your target? Let me show you a complete example. Sarah makes $80,000 a year. Her target replacement is 75%, so she needs $60,000 in retirement income. Her Social Security estimate at 67 is $2,100 a month. That's $25,200 a year. She has no pension. She's saved $500,000. At 4% withdrawal, that's $20,000 a year. So far, $45,200. She's short by $14,800. What can Sarah do? She could work until 70, higher Social Security, more savings time. She could save more now. She could work part-time in retirement. She could reduce her target spending. The power of this calculation? Now Sarah knows her gap. She's not guessing anymore. She can make a plan. And so can you. What if you're behind? Don't panic. People over 50 can make catch-up contributions to their retirement accounts, an extra $7,500 to 401k plans in 2025. That's on top of the regular limit. Here are 5 ways to catch up. 1. Increase your savings rate. Even 1% more helps. 2. Delay Social Security. Each year you wait past full retirement age adds 8%. 3. Work a few extra years. 4. Reduce expenses now and in retirement. 5. Find additional income sources. Let's look at numbers.
If you save an extra $1,000 a month for 10 years with 7% returns, you'd have about $173,000 more. That's $6,920 more in yearly income using the 4% rule. The key is to start. Every dollar counts. Every day matters. Don't let being behind stop you from moving forward. Let me show you the power of waiting. By delaying retirement from 65 to 70, you could need only 8 times your salary instead of 10 times, according to Fidelity's research. That's a huge difference. Why? 3 reasons. 1. More time to save. 2. Higher Social Security benefits. 3. Fewer years you need to fund. Someone retiring at 67 needs their savings to replace 45% of income. At 62, it's 55%. At 70, it's only 40%. Here's what that looks like. John needs $50,000 from savings at 65. If he waits until 70, he might only need $35,000 from savings because his Social Security is higher. That's $15,000 a year less he needs. Not everyone can work longer. Health matters, jobs matter. But if you can, even 1 extra year makes a big difference. Now let me warn you about something dangerous. It's called sequence of returns risk. Market downturns early in retirement can have an outsized effect on how long savings last, according to Thrivent research. Imagine you retire with $1 million. The market drops 30% in year 1. Now you have $700,000. But you still need your $40,000 withdrawal. That's 5.7% of your remaining balance, way above 4%. How do you protect yourself? Keep 1 to 2 years of expenses in cash. Don't sell investments when they're down. If the market drops, don't fully adjust your withdrawal for inflation that year. This is why flexibility matters. The 4% rule is a guide, not a law. Be ready to adjust based on what the markets do, especially in your first few years. Let me share a powerful strategy. It's called the bucket approach. You divide your money into 3 buckets based on when you'll need it. Bucket 1 is for now, next 2 to 3 years of expenses. Keep this in cash and safe investments. This protects you from having to sell investments during downturns. It's your safety net. Bucket 2 is for years 4 to 10. This can be in bonds and stable investments. It grows a little but stays relatively safe. You refill Bucket 1 from Bucket 2 as needed. Bucket 3 is for 10 years away. This can be in stocks for growth. You have time to recover from market drops. This bucket refills Bucket 2 over time. 3 buckets, 1 peace of mind. Remember when I said you could create your own pension? Here's how. It's called an annuity. According to Alliance for Lifetime Income Research, nearly 46% of retirees say spending their savings creates anxiety. Annuities can fix that. An annuity is simple. You give money to an insurance company. They promise to pay you every month for life, no matter how long you live. No worrying about running out. About 71% of 55-year-olds say they're interested in annuities. Let's say you have $200,000. You buy an annuity. They might pay you $1,200 a month for life. That's $14,400 a year, guaranteed. Combined with Social Security, you have a solid income floor. Annuities aren't for everyone. They have fees. Once you give up the money, you can't get it back. But for creating guaranteed income, they're worth considering. Here's a brilliant way to think about retirement income. Create an income floor first. This is money you know will come in no matter what happens to the markets. Your income floor includes Social Security, guaranteed for life; pensions, guaranteed for life; annuities, guaranteed for life. Cover your basic expenses, food, housing, insurance, with guaranteed income. If your basic expenses are $3,000 a month, make sure your guaranteed income covers that first. Social Security is $2,000. Buy an annuity for $1,000 more. Floor covered. Everything above your floor?
That comes from investments, travel money, fund money, gifts for grandkids. If the market drops, you cut the extras, but your basics are always covered. That's security. We need to talk about taxes. Yes, you still pay taxes in retirement, but it might be less than you think. Tax-efficient withdrawals from traditional accounts, Roth IRAs, and HSAs are critical to stretching retirement dollars. Different accounts get taxed differently. Traditional 401k and IRA withdrawals, taxed as income. Roth withdrawals, tax-free. Social Security, partially taxed, depending on income. Here's a smart move. Having some savings in Roth accounts means tax-free income, which can lower your replacement rate because you keep more of what you withdraw. The key? Diversify your tax situation. Have some money in taxable accounts, some in tax-deferred, some in tax-free. This gives you options to minimize taxes every year. Let me show you a tax-smart withdrawal strategy. Each year, figure out your tax bracket, then fill it up strategically. Here's what that looks like. You need $50,000. Instead of taking it all from your 401k, taxed, take $30,000 from 401k. Take $20,000 from Roth, tax-free. You stay in a lower tax bracket. Required minimum distributions start at age 73. You must take money from traditional accounts or pay penalties. Plan for these. They could push you into higher brackets. Consider working with a tax professional for this. The savings can be thousands of dollars every year. It's worth getting right. I need to address something important. Women face unique retirement challenges. According to the Alliance for Lifetime Income, 51% of women in the peak 65 zone have less than $100,000 in assets, and 67% of single women. That's alarming. Why the gap? Women on average have saved 30% less than men by retirement age. Career breaks for caregiving, lower average wages, longer lifespans, meaning money needs to last longer. Only 57% of women are confident they will meet their financial goals, compared to 75% of men, according to a 2024 New York Life survey. This confidence gap is a problem. If you're a woman, please hear this. Start now. Save more. Consider annuities for lifetime income. Women retire on average 2 years earlier than men, often not by choice. Be prepared. Here's a question that matters more than people think. How long will your retirement last? The original 4% rule assumed a 30-year retirement. If yours is longer, you need different planning. If you retire at 65, you might live to 85, 90, or beyond. That's 20 to 30 years. Fidelity's planning models assume you need income through age 93. Can your money last that long? 2/3 of people worry about outliving their retirement savings, according to BlackRock's 2024 survey. This fear is real, and it should motivate you to plan carefully. Here's the solution. Plan for longer than you think. Use annuities for lifetime income. Keep some money in growth investments, and stay flexible with your spending. Let's talk about RMDs, required minimum distributions. Once you hit age 73, the government forces you to take money from traditional retirement accounts. You can't let it sit there forever. How much do you have to take? It's based on your account balance divided by your life expectancy, according to IRS tables. The older you get, the more you have to take. Here's why this matters for income planning. You might take more than you need. That money gets taxed. Some people use the RMD framework even before age 73 as a guide for withdrawals. Consider doing Roth conversions before RMDs kick in. This moves money from taxable to tax-free and reduces your future RMDs. Planning ahead is key. Let's talk about your biggest expense, housing. Housing is the largest monthly expense for most retirees. Your choice about where and how to live has huge impacts on retirement income needs. You have choices. Stay in your current home, maybe it's paid off. Downsize to something smaller, free up cash. Relocate to a cheaper area, stretch your dollars further. The retirement age is lowest in Alaska and West Virginia, where costs are lower, highest in expensive states like Massachusetts. About 21% of 55-year-olds expect to need housing support from family in retirement. That's a lot of people counting on help that might not come. Think about your housing now. Is it sustainable for 30 years? Could you live somewhere cheaper? Could you rent out a room for extra income? These decisions matter more than most investments. Debt in retirement is dangerous. 68% of retirees with debt reported having credit card debt in 2024, according to EBRI research. Credit card interest can eat your retirement income alive. Here's the rule. Pay off debt before you retire. Mortgage, car loans, credit cards, get rid of them. Every dollar going to interest is a dollar not supporting your life. 31% of retirees said their spending is higher than they can afford in 2024, up from 17% in 2020. Debt is a big reason why. Don't let this be you. Make debt payoff part of your retirement plan. Maybe it means retiring a year later. Maybe it means saving less for a while. But entering retirement debt-free? Priceless. Even in retirement, you need an emergency fund. Unexpected expenses are the second most common reason people have nothing saved. 41% cited this as a factor. Things happen. Keep 6 to 12 months of expenses in cash. This covers surprise car repairs, medical bills, home emergencies. You don't want to sell investments in a down market just because your roof leaked. This is separate from your bucket one money. Your bucket one is for planned expenses. Your emergency fund is for unplanned expenses. Both matter. Having this cushion lets you sleep at night. Markets can crash. You don't care. You have cash. That security is worth more than the interest you'd earn investing it. What should your investments look like in retirement? Studies suggest a mix of 50 to 75% stocks, and the rest in bonds has historically supported the 4% rule. Yes, stocks even in retirement. Why keep stocks? Growth. Your money needs to grow to beat inflation and last 30 years. But too many stocks? Too much risk. You need balance. Sequence of returns risk can devastate portfolios. Experiencing losses early in retirement hurts more than losses later. This is why you reduce stocks as you age. A simple rule: 110 minus your age equals your stock percentage. At 65, that's 45% stocks. At 70, that's 40% stocks. Adjust based on your comfort level. If investment mix sounds complicated, there's an easy solution. Target date funds. These funds automatically adjust your mix as you age, according to Fidelity's research on retirement planning. You pick a fund based on when you'll retire. Target 2035 fund for retiring in 2035. The fund does all the work. It starts more aggressive and gets more conservative automatically. No rebalancing worries, no allocation decisions, professional management. Schwab and other providers found that many people benefit from this set-it-and-forget-it approach. Target date funds aren't perfect. Fees vary. Some are too conservative, but for simplicity, they're hard to beat. Here's another income strategy: dividends. Some stocks pay you just for owning them. Every quarter, you get cash. Imagine you own $200,000 in dividend-paying stocks that yield 3%. That's $6,000 a year in income, without selling anything. The money just shows up. Dividends can be part of your income strategy, but don't rely on them completely. Companies can cut dividends. Markets still go up and down. Diversification matters. Consider dividend ETFs for easy exposure. They spread your risk across many dividend-paying companies. It's like instant diversification. Let's talk about real estate as retirement income. Rental property can provide steady monthly cash flow. Some retirees use rental income as a significant part of their retirement income. Here's what it might look like. You buy a $200,000 property. You rent it for $1,500 a month. After expenses, maybe you net $800 a month. That's $9,600 a year in retirement income. But be real about the work. Being a landlord means calls at midnight, repairs, vacancies, problem tenants. It's not passive income, it's active work. Don't want the hassle? Consider REITs, real estate investment trusts. You invest in real estate like buying a stock. You get dividend income without fixing toilets. Before you retire, do a stress test. About 54% of retirees were surprised by how much it costs to retire. Don't be one of them. Here's how. Live on your projected retirement income for 3 to 6 months before you actually retire. If your plan says you'll have $5,000 a month, try living on $5,000 a month now. What will you learn? Maybe it's easier than you thought. Maybe it's harder. Maybe you need to adjust your expectations. Better to learn now than after you've quit your job.
This stress test reveals the truth.
Numbers on paper are one thing. Actually living them, that's real. Do this test. Let's put all the pieces together for your monthly income check. I'll give you the exact calculation. Step 1. Take your Social Security monthly benefit, maybe $2,000. Step 2. Add pension if any, maybe $500. Step 3. Add annuity income if any, maybe $800. Step 4. Calculate your savings withdrawal. Total savings times 4% divided by 12. If you have $500,000, that's $1,667 a month. Add it all up. $2,000, $500, $800, $1,667 equals $4,967 per month. Is this enough? Compare it to your monthly budget from earlier. If it's not enough, you know what to change. Save more, work longer, spend less, add income sources. You have options. Let me give you a practical tool, the withdrawal calendar. This helps you plan when to take money from where. January through March, take from your cash bucket. April through June, dividend income covers you. July through September, take some from bond funds. October through December, maybe sell some stocks if market is up. The goal? Never sell investments in a bad market if you can help it. Use flexible timing. Keep options open. At the start of each year, plan your withdrawals for the whole year. Which accounts? In what order? This planning prevents panic decisions later. Let's get specific about when to claim Social Security. The full retirement age is 67 for those born 1960 or later. But you have choices. Claim at 62, get about 70% of your full benefit. Claim at 67, get 100%. Claim at 70, get 124%. Each year you delay past full retirement adds 8% to your benefit. When does waiting pay off? If you live past about age 80 to 82, waiting until 70 gives you more total money over your lifetime. The longer you live, the more waiting helps. But your health matters. Your needs matter. If you need money now, take it now. There's no wrong answer, just the answer that fits your life. If you're married, Social Security gets more complicated and potentially more valuable. Spouses can receive benefits based on their own work or based on their spouse's work, whichever is higher. The spousal benefit is up to 50% of your spouse's full retirement benefit. If your spouse's benefit is $2,400 a month, you could get up to $1,200, even if you never worked. Here's a strategy. The higher earner delays until 70 for maximum benefit. The lower earner claims earlier. This maximizes total household income over time. Survivor benefits matter too. When one spouse dies, the survivor gets the higher of the two benefits. Maximizing the higher earner's benefit protects the surviving spouse. More than half of workers plan to work in retirement. 54% according to the Transamerica Center survey. This is becoming normal. Working brings more than just money. Purpose, social connection, mental stimulation. Only 4% of current retirees work for pay, but 33% of non-retirees expect to work. Expectations versus reality differ. Even part-time work helps enormously. 20 hours a week at $15 an hour is $15,600 a year. That's $15,600 less you need from savings. Your nest egg lasts longer. But plan for not being able to work. 58% of retirees retired sooner than planned due to health or job loss. Have a plan B. Here's a scenario many people face. You retire at 62, but don't claim Social Security until 67 or 70. How do you fund those gap years? These years drain your savings faster. If you need $50,000 a year and have no Social Security yet, that all comes from savings. Plan for this. Options for gap years. Work part-time. Use taxable accounts first. Consider a bridge strategy with bond funds. Some people use Roth conversions during these lower income years to reduce future taxes. If your gap is 5 years and you need $30,000 extra per year from savings, that's $150,000. Make sure your retirement number includes this. Let's talk about protecting your income from inflation. 9 out of 10 retirees said inflation is why they've decreased spending, according to retirement statistics. Inflation is real. Ways to protect yourself. Social Security has built-in COLA adjustments. Some pensions have inflation protection. Tips: Treasury inflation-protected securities grow with inflation. Keep some money in stocks. Over long periods, stocks have historically beaten inflation. This is why financial advisors recommend keeping 40 to 50% in stocks even in retirement. Budget for inflation. Assume prices go up 3% each year. Your income needs to keep pace. If it doesn't, your lifestyle shrinks over time. Let me give you a one-page retirement income plan. Everything you need on a single sheet. Income sources: Social Security dollars per month, pension dollars per month, annuity dollars per month, savings withdrawal dollars per month, other income dollars /month, total monthly income dollars _____. Expenses: housing dollars, healthcare dollars, food dollars, transportation dollars, utilities dollars, insurance dollars, entertainment dollars, other dollars. Total monthly expenses, dollars. Gap analysis. Income minus expenses equals dollars. Positive? Great. Negative? Here's what to adjust. Print this, fill it in, review it yearly. Your retirement income plan isn't set and forget. Research shows that reviewing your spending rate at least annually helps maintain success. Pick a date each year, maybe your birthday or New Year's. That's your annual review day. Check your spending versus budget. Check your investment balance. Recalculate your withdrawal rate. If markets did well, maybe you can spend a bit more. If markets did poorly, maybe tighten up. Flexible withdrawal systems can actually let you spend more over your lifetime. This is your money, your life. Stay engaged. Stay informed. Make adjustments as life changes. Let me share the biggest retirement income mistakes. Half of retirees say they saved less than what was needed, according to EBRI's 2024 survey. Don't repeat their mistakes. Mistake 1. Underestimating how long you'll live. Mistake 2. Ignoring inflation. Mistake 3. Taking too much too early. Mistake 4. Not having an emergency fund. Mistake 5. Claiming Social Security too early without reason. Mistake 6. Not planning for healthcare costs. Mistake 7. Keeping all money in one type of account. Mistake 8. Not adjusting your plan over time.
Mistake 9. Helping kids too much at your own expense. Know these mistakes. Avoid these mistakes. Your future self will thank you. This is a lot of information. You might want help. Bill Bengen himself says getting professional help is a good idea because finance is complex. Options for help. Fee-only financial planners charge for advice, not commissions. Robo-advisors offer low-cost automated guidance. Free calculators at SSA.gov and Fidelity.com help with estimates. What to look for. Fiduciary duty. They must act in your interest. Clear fee structure. Good reviews. Credentials like CFP. Professional help costs money but can be worth it. The decisions around Social Security alone could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Sometimes paying for advice pays off. Let me share some free tools that can help. The Social Security Administration website has a retirement estimator. Go to SSA.gov, create an account, and see your projected benefits. More tools. Fidelity's retirement score gives you a quick check on your progress. T. Rowe Price has income replacement calculators. Vanguard has retirement income tools. Most are free. These tools do the math for you. Input your savings, expected retirement age, spending needs. They show if you're on track or need to adjust. Use these tools today. Knowledge is power. The more you know about your numbers, the better decisions you can make. Not retired yet? Here's the magic number for savings. Research suggests saving 15% of your income annually, including employer match, sets you up for success. 15%. Where does this come from? If you save 15% starting at age 25, you can accumulate 10 times your salary by age 67. That's the math behind the guideline. Can't do 15%? Start with what you can. Each extra percentage point of savings above 8% reduces the income replacement you'll need in retirement. Start at 5%. Next year, go to 7%. Then 10%. Build up slowly. Every increase helps. Something is always better than nothing. If you're 10 years from retirement, this is crunch time. 55-year-olds are critically underprepared with median savings under $50,000, according to Prudential's 2024 survey. But you still have time. The final 10 years matter most. Your income is probably at its highest. You can use catch-up contributions. People over 50 can add $7,500 extra to their 401k. Let's say you save $30,000 a year for 10 years with 7% growth. That's about $440,000 just from those final years. Don't waste this time. Max out contributions, pay off debt, reduce expenses. These 10 years can make or break your retirement. Sometimes the best retirement strategy isn't financial, it's lifestyle. Higher income households experience lower replacement rates because they spend smaller portions of income. Spending less means needing less. Move to a cheaper area, save thousands yearly. Cook at home more, save on restaurants. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Drive cars longer. Travel during off-peak times. Retirement isn't about sacrifice, it's about choices. Choose what matters to you. Cut what doesn't. One couple I read about moved from California to Arizona. Housing costs dropped $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. They needed $600,000 less in savings using the 25X rule. Here's something that matters beyond money. Studies show there are benefits to having purpose in retirement, according to Alliance for Lifetime Income Research. Money isn't everything. Well-being measures have declined among retirees. Satisfaction with retirement dropped from 7.4 in 2020 to 6.9 in 2024. More money doesn't always mean more happiness.
What brings happiness in retirement? Relationships, health, purpose, community, activities you love? These cost less than you think. Plan for a rich life, not just a rich bank account. The happiest retirees have both, enough money and meaningful lives. Here's your action plan. Do these things this week. Today, create your Social Security account at ssa.gov. Get your benefit estimates. Write them down. This week, calculate your replacement ratio target. Calculate your savings target using 10 times salary. Calculate your gap. This month, review all your income sources. Create a monthly retirement budget. Fill out the one-page plan. Ongoing. Increase savings if you're behind. Pay down debt. Review your plan yearly. Let me give you the complete calculation one more time. Your retirement income equals Social Security pension annuity income, savings times 4% divided by 12, other income. Compare this to your needs equals current income times replacement ratio divided by 12. If income is less than needs, you have a gap. Close it by saving more, working longer, spending less, adding income sources. If income meets or exceeds needs, congratulations, you're on track. Keep going. Despite 2/3 of Americans believing there's a retirement crisis, you now have the knowledge to avoid it. You know how to calculate retirement income. You know the rules. You know the numbers. The 4% rule, the 25x rule, the 10x salary target, the 15% savings rate, the 75% replacement ratio. These aren't secrets anymore. They're your tools now. About 6 in 10 people say they're on track with retirement savings, according to BlackRock research. You can be one of them. It starts with one step, then another, then another. Start today. Calculate your numbers. Make your plan. Review it yearly. Your future self is counting on the person you are right now. You've got this.